Now, let's get into the difference between God's soldiers and God's servants, because there's a big difference. We can look at some of the old prophets, or whatever you want to call them, and refer back to that. You know, for instance, Abraham, that was a servant. Moses, that was a soldier. Abraham, that's all he knew how to do was serve. You know, hey, he feared anything that he couldn't control, enough that he would, sacrifice his own child when he was being given a test to see if he was a soldier or a servant. Servants are those who, they willing to serve whatever serves their purpose so they can keep moving in life. You know what I mean? Then you got soldiers that's going to do the hard things, do the hard work, which is going to get out there and do what needs to be done. Even though he might have made a bad decision in the end, he still moved like a soldier. But he asked for that himself when he asked to make that decision himself. Apparently he wasn't ready to make that decision. God made a decision to go save those people. Not to have them slaughter one another. So, where we at from there? When you take this into accountability for what's going on and who we got, preaching for us, things like that, we need to make one thing clear. There's preachers, gossipers, let's just call it, and there's workers of God, there's soldiers of God. Those who ain't gonna get on their knees when the predators come around. God was playing the predator in that story. If you don't get it yet, what you gonna do when them predators come around after you and your kids? You gonna get on your knees and bow, or you gonna fight for them? Abraham wouldn't fight for his. You gonna fight for yours? And I don't want nobody like Abraham fighting for mine. Somebody needs to make something real clear right now. If you on Jesus' side, which is this side, then you fighting for what matters. And that's all these little kids just being left behind out there that everybody's turning their head up to while this fucking virus keeps growing. Keep on. We're gonna start this fucking rapture up. Keep playing with me. If y'all don't know yet, you about to find out. When I say I want them kids rescued, either get out my damn way. No, you don't get to stand back and preach and not do no Jesus shit. You understand what I'm saying to you? Either put that book down and shut your mouth, or get on your knees and beg them kids for forgiveness, because that's what you should have been doing all along. Yeah, you know who I am. This shit didn't get serious around here today.